Right, how y'all doing? If you all made it to the end of yesterday's vlog, I mentioned about Inky potentially burning a load of her paperwork by accident. That became a large focus for after the vlog yesterday and early today. We hope, touch wood, it's not the case, but it's looking more and more likely to be. Inky has burnt all of her qualifications, bless her, all of her certificates, including her recent, was that level 3 she got? Completely by accident, you know. She thinks she knows how she's done it. The other day when she come home, she was sorting through stuff for the burning pile. So we've been having regular fires to get rid of like old bills and stuff like that. You know, you check the pile, you check it once. You know, she had some extra stuff. Checked it twice. These are the things I want to keep. These are the things I want to burn. And she goes for the ones that she want to keep. And instead of going to put them somewhere safe, into the burning pile they went and just, you know, you've already checked them, so you're not going to check them again. Seems like that's it. And not only was it her qualification certificates, like her certificates for her qualifications, her birth certificate and potentially her adoption documents were in there too. So she's been a bit of a low today. We've assured her we can at least get them back. They can be reissued if we know where to get them from. So it's not that big of a deal. It was an accident. It's like the time we almost shredded all my bike paperwork, all my bike registration documents. It happens, you know. People lose their birth certificates and things like that all the time. So, you know, it's a thing. You know, there's always ways to get stuff back. I mean, as far as official documentation is concerned, there's you know, usually channels, and that's what we're going to have to do. I feel bad for her though, because bless her, she says to me today, she say, I feel like I've put in all this time and all this work to get these qualifications, and now it's almost meaningless because she doesn't have the proof. You know, she doesn't have the proof for it. And she says it's even worse because now that she's potentially burnt her birth certificate and her adoption paperwork, she said she feels like she's not even really a person anymore. You know, like she feels like one of those people that have just fallen off the grid. And I said to her, look, it's not that big of a deal. We'll get it sorted. If we need to have them reissued, and if it's going to cost money, I'll pay for it. You know, because clearly I should have been a bit more on the ball and should have been checking through the burn pile and stuff. But it happens, you know. It happens. So we've blitzed parts of the house today in an attempt to find the documents. We haven't found them. There are still a few places we can look. That said, I've lost a pair of Joy-Cons too that we need to send back to Nintendo. I haven't found those yet either. You know, we have a lot of stuff. We have a lot of paperwork just laying around. It's an easy thing to happen. So, you know, you know, we've got to do all that, and then, you know, super happy fun time magic. It happens. It happens. What we got here? Hello. You know, it's actually easier to see through the camera than it is that chicken. There's a lot of chicken. Inky.
Yes.
There's chicken in here.
Yes.
There's lots of it.
Yes.
I didn't know we were having chicken.
Yes.
Chicken. Yes.
Do you know why?
Spaniel. Why?
Freezer.
Oh! Is that what you want me to do? You told me to unscrew the cap. What's going on?
It's defrosted.
Oh, you're doing... Where's all the food that was in it? Are we eating all that?
I emptied it into the other freezer, which was empty.
All right.
Remember? That's...
Oh, boy.
It's blocked at the moment because there's still a big block of ice at the bottom.
Oh, I. Oh, good.
So...
Hello.
We're just waiting for it to defrost, to be fair.
And because of the freezer being defrosted, we're getting a chicken dinner.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good job, freezer. Go get full of ice more often.
No.
Oh, But I like chicken.
I know you like chicken, but I'm on my
Oh yeah,
my
you know.
diet, you know, so my be healthy, be good diet.
Nothing wrong with
Have a
chicken.
cheat day.
Nothing wrong with chicken.
Cheat day, chicken.
Chicken's good for you. Something has to die every day so that I can live.
It's going to be the chicken.
It's either the chicken or it's going to be people.
Chicken for you?
It'll either be food or stress relief. Pick one.
Food. Can I have a cup of tea, please?
Of course.
The fire's going ballistic out there. I'm like,
Fire.
Yeah, I'm loving warm.
Oh my, hang on. Oh my god. Oh dear. You not learnt your lesson yet then? Core and blimey. That is she hasn't. She clearly really hasn't learned her lesson, bless her. Well, it's hot enough for what the hell ever it is over there to be bubbling like mad. Oh dear. Oh dear. And that's what's usually left over. Hi there. There's a pot of and
Hummus and stuff.
and there's somewhere for me to sit. And there's Dar. And this is all romantic and stuff.
Everyone's going, where's your plates? Well, we're going to be putting the food here. We've got towels to wipe our hands. We're not complete monsters.
Ain't we? Surprise. Raise the camera for a better angle. I think that's a better angle. You think that's a better angle? The camera's stupid. Oh, that food was amazing. Didn't eat it all. Didn't manage to polish off a whole tub of chicken, but that chicken should feel honoured, because goddamn I felt honoured to eat it. It was absolutely amazing. Right, I'm gonna go and crash out in a minute, to be honest with you. Boys are getting tucked up, ready for bed. Took dog out for a walk. Done the old bass guitar. Done Ring Fit, which I'm not going to be able to do once we find Noodle's lost Joy-Cons. Because obviously all the Joy-Cons will go back to Nintendo. Yeah. High spirits. We'll never learn. We will never learn. Been playing Stadia again as well, by the way, today. And I've got positive responses from people who we streamed Stadia, Final Fantasy 15. That game's kind of fun. I've never played Final Fantasy 15 before, but it was kind of fun. I installed Crime on my stream rig, which is, you know, as most people know, is a really low end Linux PC. It's like £100 PC with a 50 quid graphics card in it, and that's kind of the guts of my live stream. That's the thing that does all the work. But I put Chrome on it, and apparently it runs in Chromium as well. You just hit the button on it, and I said just screen cap this browser window. So I plugged it into the main TV here, and then play Final Fantasy 15. Now I thought there was a bit of a delay. It's like you press the button on Final Fantasy, and like by the time you'd lift your thumb up, that's when the action kind of started. So I asked Binky if I could launch Final Fantasy 15 on her PlayStation 4, which she hasn't played in like God knows how long. And there is a delay. I mean, if I had to be honest, like, I reckon Stadia is probably adding, and this is just like a rough guesstimate, between 50 and like 70 milliseconds of latency on top of everything else. When I was showing people as I was playing it, they guesstimated about half a second from when I pressed the button to when something happened on stream. I don't know if it's quite that bad, but then there were some folks in chat who are more knowledgeable about the game, said yeah, like the PlayStation 4 is the fastest, the Xbox is a bit slower at about a third a second, so half a second ain't that bad. And they said it definitely looks playable. I mean, some games on PlayStation or PlayStation or Xbox will like there'll be a 140 millisecond, roughly 8 frames or so delay. I think Samurai Showdown was reported as having an 8 frame lag on PS4 when the demo came out, but I think they shaved a bit off of that. Street Fighter 5 used to have an 8 frame lag on it back in the day as well. So I mean, it's not unheard of for games to have delays between like 120 to 130, 140 milliseconds. Add on a little bit more for Stadia, I reckon you're then talking, 170 milliseconds or so, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less, maybe in the 200s. But they are definitely playable. I haven't played a single game that isn't playable, and a few people who I've spoken to have agreed that if there is a bit of a delay, it doesn't take a huge amount to get used to it. And once you've played it for a little while, you just that's just it. It's just second nature. You just rewire your brain because everything after that initial press, the timing is exactly the same. It's more about prediction than reaction in some cases. It's plenty good enough for most people who are reasonable with this stuff, with this kind of thing. They're finding this is great. Like, you don't have to go out and buy a console. You don't have to go out and buy or upgrade your PC. You could literally just go out and buy a Chromebook and play. And just to dispel some random thing, like people were saying, why do I have to pay full price for a game and pay for Stadia Pro subscription? You don't. The subscription is only a thing if you want to get access to, I think it's 1 free game a month, and resolutions over 1080p. If you don't pay for the Pro subscription, any game you own it will be there and it will play at 1080p max. So that's the thing. But yeah, a lot of people, if you have a Chromebook, sign up for Stadia. You don't even need a Stadia pad. When Stadia Free comes out, just like you can just imagine you've got a really low-end machine and you want to play Destiny 2 with your mates. You can buy Destiny 2 or get the Pro subscription for like £8 or £9 or however much it is, because Destiny's free with that. You don't have to. You can go onto your Chromebook and you're playing Destiny. You don't need anything else. You just need your internet connection and access to a Chrome browser. I'm going to try the Raspberry Pi in a minute because it runs on Chromium. I don't know if it'll actually work on Chromium on the Pi, but I'm willing to give it a crack. Actually, shall I do that now? Hang on. Brutal. It's a no-go on the Pi. The version of Chromium on the Pi is out of date. Sad. But in theory, as long as you've got an internet connection capable of running Stadia, anything over 10 meg, is a 35 meg for 4K, and you've got a device that'll run the latest version of Chrome, you're good. I just repeat myself probably. You're good. And folks are like, how can, you're not going to buy a console. I had this rant yesterday, but some more things have come to light about that. Oh, people can't, you're not going to buy a console, but how are they going to be able to afford a $90 internet connection? I still don't see how that's really a valid thing, because there's no one really in the UK that's going to have a huge amount of trouble doing that unless you live out on a farm. And plus, if you watch 4K Netflix, I've been told that Stadia streaming, like an hour of Stadia, is near enough the same as an hour of Netflix, which makes sense because all it's doing is streaming a video feed to you, like a 1080p or 4K video feed to you. So if you can stream Netflix, you can play on this. It's reasonable. It's decent. The games are playable. And just the idea that you literally don't have to buy a gaming PC anymore or new consoles, and you can just literally buy like a Chromebook or a cheap laptop, open up Chrome browser, and you're playing big boy games in gorgeous graphics, decent resolutions, reasonable frame rates. Just make sure you've got that internet connection. sorry, I don't know where I'm going with that, but I played Final Fantasy 15 for a while. People seem to enjoy it. I enjoyed it. It played well. Some people said they weren't actually entirely. They were like, "Are you really playing this on Stadia?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm playing this on Stadia. I'm not on the Xbox. And sure, on the Stadia Dash and stuff like that." So yeah, see, I'm on Stadia. I'm on a cheap ass Linux PC, and I'm playing a game that this PC couldn't even come close to playing. It's one of the things that I loved about On Live back in the day, that machines that couldn't play, Saints Row the Third or Warhammer 40k Space Marine, a Mac. There wasn't a Saints Row the Third for Mac, but now you can play. You could have played Saints Row the Third on Mac. You could have played Batman on Mac. You could have played any of the games on Live on the Mac, because there was an app for it, and same for any platform that had access to the app. Same thing with Stadia. You don't need badass machines. It's for what it does. It's pretty good. So there's my thoughts. I'm gonna fucking head off though, because I'm tired and I want to shower and stuff. So yeah, hope you're well. Randomness ending now, and I'm gonna go hang out with the wife and I'll see you all with a bit of luck tomorrow.